Get this, listeners. You sent in a connection, and, well, let's just say it blew our minds a little bit.
It's not every day that someone bridges the gap between ancient Tamil poetry and, wait for it, superpowers.
And you know we love a good challenge, especially one that involves a text as profoundly insightful as Avayar's Nanakaral.
A masterpiece of Tamil literature believed to be over 2,000 years old. The Nanakaral is essentially a guidebook to living a life of virtue and meaning.
A timeless classic, packed with wisdom, and it's about to get even more interesting because, in this deep dive, we're taking a look at how one listener connected Chapter 29, Mainari, meaning true path, to the 8 siddhis of Hindu tradition.
Now, for anyone unfamiliar with the 8 siddhis, these are essentially 8 supernatural powers that are thought to be achievable through rigorous spiritual practice.
Things like becoming invisible or flying through the air, pretty cool, right? But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we can understand the connection, let's first delve into the heart of Chapter 29.
Mainari, meaning true path, lays out Avayar's philosophy for navigating the complexities of life with grace, wisdom, and a strong moral compass.
It's all about self-control, detaching from material possessions, and living a life guided by ethics. In fact, one line that particularly stood out to me was, "Desire only that which is attained by virtue."
Powerful words, right? What do you think Avayar meant by that?
Well, it seems like she's saying that true fulfillment comes not from chasing fleeting pleasures or accumulating wealth, but from aligning our desires with what's inherently right and virtuous.
Absolutely. She believed that chasing after those material things will only lead to a sense of emptiness, whereas finding inner peace comes from pursuing a higher purpose.
I could definitely relate to that. I mean, how many times have we all gotten caught up in chasing the next big thing only to find that it doesn't lead to any real lasting happiness?
It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? But it's through recognizing these patterns that we can begin to shift our focus to what truly matters.
Which leads us back to those 8 siddhis. Our listener saw a parallel between Avayar's true path and the potential to actually develop these supernatural abilities.
And it's an incredibly astute observation because while the cities themselves seem extraordinary, the path to achieving them, according to Hindu tradition, is deeply rooted in self-mastery and spiritual growth.
So rather than viewing the cities as just, magical powers, maybe we can see them as metaphors for reaching a higher state of being, one that's cultivated through the kind of principles that Avayar outlines in Mainari.
Precisely. For instance, take anima, the ability to shrink to the size of an atom.
Okay, shrinking down, I'm with you.
It sounds pretty incredible on the surface, but what if it's really about cultivating humility? Recognizing that we're not the center of the universe and letting go of that ego which can so often cloud our judgment.
So the more we're able to let go of our ego, the more we can actually see the bigger picture. It's like that line from verse 29.15, "He who sees himself as small as the pupil of his own eye has truly seen it all."
It's a powerful image, isn't it? And from that place of humility, that recognition of our smallness in the grand scheme of things, we gain access to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
And that brings us to another siddhi, Laghima, the ability to become as light as a feather. What could that represent in the context of Avayar's teachings?
Well, if we think about the things that weigh us down in life, material possessions, the endless pursuit of more legiuma could be seen as a metaphor for detachment.
Right. It's like you're no longer burdened by the weight of those desires, so you become light enough to, float away.
And if we consider prapti, the ability to acquire anything we desire, perhaps Avayar would say that true prapti isn't about material wealth, but rather the attainment of lasting contentment.
Which, let's be honest, is a far greater treasure than anything money can buy.
Absolutely. Regardless of whether you believe in the literal existence of the siddhis, I think we can all agree that Avayar's teachings in Mainari offer a timeless guide to living a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
So for all our listeners out there, we'll leave you with this thought to ponder: if we view these 8 siddhis not as supernatural powers, but rather as metaphors for personal growth, what superhuman abilities might we unlock by embracing the wisdom of Avayar's Nanakaral?
Keep exploring. You might just be surprised at what you discover.
Until next time, keep those connections coming. We'll be back soon to dive even deeper.